This is me in 2022. I just graduated with my computer science degree from Georgia Tech, and I was headed over to San Francisco to start my $220,000 big tech software engineering job. In my mind, I was successful. I made it. This is what I worked so hard for. But truth be told, no matter how much I studied or prepared, the real world was about to humble me in ways I didn't even realize. And so if you're an aspiring software engineer, here's my heartfelt, honest advice for you. First, always be the dumbest person in the room. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Let me explain. When I started my big tech software engineering job, I was put on a team where I was given pretty much a leadership type role. It was a little confusing given that I was just right out of college, but they had a lot of trust in me because I previously interned there. So I was in charge of leading this feature development of this one major feature that ended up getting pushed out to production. Things were going pretty decently. I liked my teammates, and a lot of them were around my age. They were junior engineers. Any feedback that I got was only positive, and when people reviewed my code, I would get great approvals and maybe a max of 1 or 2 suggestions to improve. I was also the scrum master of my team, leading daily stand-up meetings. I was doing good at my job, I was confident, and I felt like I was actually on track to getting promoted really quickly. Until there was a major restructuring in our company and I was shipped off to a different team. All of a sudden, my peers were seasoned veterans that were senior or principal software engineers with 10+ years of experience. Some of them had been software engineers longer than I had been alive at that point. And so standards on this team were really, really high. And all of a sudden, anytime I submitted code to get reviewed, I would get 10 to 15 points of criticism every time. Instead of leading a feature, I was now part of a sub-feature working with other people. My confidence at this point took a big hit, and instead of thinking I was on track to getting promoted, I was praying to God that I wouldn't get fired. I was so scared that I would wake up early so I could code, attend my meetings, code until nighttime, and rinse and repeat, and it got so weird that I started to dream in JavaScript at this point. I pray no one ever has to go through that struggle. But as much as I hated this time, I do have to say this was one of the best times of my life. Because once I got out of this vicious cycle of coding and criticism, I became a stronger engineer. I learned better coding practices so I would get less bad feedback. I would contribute more to the team. I got more involved, and I learned so much throughout. You see, if I stayed on the previous team, I would have forever been the best engineer there. But that's like saying, yeah, I was really good at 3rd grade math. I got an A+, but I never bothered to try 4th grade math. My growth would have been stunted. I would have actually probably got promoted and earned money quickly, but holistically as an engineer, I would have plateaued. And so always strive to be the dumbest person in the room, because especially as a software engineer, given that the world is changing so much, if you are the dumbest person in the room, that means by definition, you have the best opportunity to learn the most. I was put around engineers with 10+ years of experience. Of course I would struggle. It's hard to match up with them. But through proximity, I learned so quickly. And actually, this goes into the concept of 10,000 hours, where it takes 10,000 hours of work in any subject to become a master in it. So if I want to become a great software engineer, I could spend 10,000 hours myself coding, testing, and debugging, or I could steal those 10,000 hours from senior software engineers who had already put the work in. So always be the dumbest person in the room because you have the most to gain. Really quick, if you want to get ahead of 99% of software engineers, it's not just about coding, it's about working smarter. And that starts with building workflows that fit you instead of the other way around. For me, one of the biggest upgrades has been the Logitech MX Master 4.
This mouse has the MX4 new dedicated actions ring button that puts shortcuts, multitasking, and custom workflows literally under my thumb.
I can switch apps, rename files and batches, or even pull up custom commands with a single press. It saves me clicks and time while keeping me focused on the real work. Another thing I noticed is how quickly it became part of my daily routine. Once you get used to it, going back to a regular mouse feels like trying to code without your favorite shortcuts. You realize how much friction you had before, and now everything just feels smoother. And it doesn't stop there. With the Logi Marketplace, you can add plugins for your favorite apps, whether that is coding, design, or productivity tools, so your setup keeps evolving with you.
And through Logi Options Plus, you can customize every button, gesture, and shortcut to match your exact workflow.
It's a whole ecosystem designed to speed you up. Personally, what I like most is the haptic feedback. Every action gives a subtle response that I can feel, which makes it easier to know exactly what's happening without breaking my flow. It turns something as simple as scrolling or switching tasks into a smoother experience. If you're a software engineer or just want to speed up your workflow, check out MX Master 4, link in the description. And now back to the video. The next thing that I want to talk about, and a lot of software engineers face this issue, is shiny object syndrome. If you show a baby a nice shiny spoon, all of a sudden their eyes flare up and they're like, whoa, this is so cool. In a very similar light, if you show a software engineer an AI feature or a machine learning project, their eyes will also shine up and be like, whoa, this is so cool. And this can be expanded to many different technologies. It's become a buzzword era. Oh, I just created an AI startup. I use machine learning neural networks. I solved a cybersecurity vulnerability by training an LLM that's powered by quantum computers. Like, bro, do you even know what that means? And this is bad for two main reasons: intimidation learning and shallow knowledge. So intimidation learning, this is actually something that I faced when I was in college. I legit thought when I entered into my computer science as a freshman that I had to have the knowledge of many different coding languages because I saw other people who knew that, or at least claimed to know that. And so I made it a mission to learn languages like Python, C#, Swift, Kotlin, all as a first semester freshman in college. And what that caused me to do was overwhelm myself with all these different technologies. If you're trying to learn everything at once, you really learn nothing. You can learn anything, you just can't learn everything. And so out of pure intimidation, I was overworking myself just to acquire these skills that I can throw on my resume. But throughout this process, I was also not really learning anything. It was just shallow knowledge. There was just a lot of breadth, no depth, which is the result of shiny object syndrome. To break out of this, change your mentality. For example, don't just tell me, hey bro, I want to learn AI. Instead, tell me where in AI that you actually want to specialize in. Is it more on the theoretical side? Is it on the practical side? On a research team? Is there a certain project that you like? Is there a certain framework that you're interested in? Are you more interested in the applications of Gen AI? Or are you more interested in fine-tuning a machine learning model to solve a certain problem? And if you're not sure where to start, that's also completely fine. Just be real with yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself wanting to learn everything about AI or machine learning just because everyone is talking about it. Do it only if you're interested in it and it actually aligns with your goals. Otherwise, trust me, throughout your whole career, you will suffer from shiny object syndrome. So the solution? Find a technology that you're actually passionate about. Dedicate 3 to 4 months to it. Maybe do an internship in it or a project. Go extremely deep into it. And if you're wondering what technologies that you should even pursue, let me know in the comments and I might make a follow-up video on this. Next, I want to talk about something that is very, very important, but also very overlooked by so many people in the industry, and that is communication. I know so many extremely bright people in tech, people who can competitively program, people who can write code just like that, but because they can't articulate themselves and communicate well, they are not good software engineers. They don't even get offers because they can't pass the behavioral interview. They're so technically talented, but so communicatively untalented. And it's frustrating to see. It's like owning a Ferrari, but being unable to actually drive it. And so if you fear that you're in this boat, here's my advice. Start by putting yourself out there, online. The easiest way to get employed nowadays is by posting projects that you work on the internet, whether that be through LinkedIn, through YouTube. Just talk about your technical work. And guess what? It definitely will catch the eyes of the people that you want to work with. For example, I regularly get offered roles, whether that be software engineering roles at tech companies or CTO roles at startups because of my online presence. But even beyond that, because of my communication skills, I've had the opportunity to network with C-level executives such as the CEO of Microsoft or the COO, CPO of GitHub. And beyond all of this, here's a quick 3-step framework that will really enhance your communication. And as a disclaimer, no, I did not come up with this framework. I just think it is so valuable. First, take out your phone and record a 5-minute video of yourself. It has to be improvised, no script, just you talking to the camera. The next day, you need to review this video in 3 different ways. First, turn up the audio and turn off the video. Put your phone face down while you're playing back the video. Listen to how your voice sounds. Hear if you're talking with clarity. Are you enunciating properly? Are you speaking with the right pitch? Don't just think about what you're saying, think about how you're saying it. Second, look at the video, shut off the audio. Look at your hand gestures. If you're smiling, your facial expressions. Are you expressing the message properly through your visual components? Or do you look like a chaotic, insecure zombie? Third, transcribe the audio and check if you're using filler words. But, so, like, all that is terrible for your clarity. Through this, you'll see how clear your speech is and then learn where to improve. Do this continuously, iteratively, every single day, and you will become a better communicator. You will become more personable, and overall, this will help you become the best software engineer. Now, it's almost impossible for me to make this video without giving you guys some serious, honest, brutal advice on the impact of AI on software engineering. AI will be the death of modern day software engineering. Right now, what software engineers do is we get assigned tasks tasks for us to complete, we go ahead, write some code in a language like JavaScript, Python, Ruby, or Java, and then try to code out the project. And obviously there are tools right now like ChatGPT, which can generate code for you. There are tools like Cursor, which is its own IDE that can finish your tasks for you. Companies have been adopting this, and at least in the big tech companies, about 30% of their code is AI generated, like at Google and Microsoft. And as AI continues to develop, we'll be seeing a lot more changes. In fact, it'll become to the point where software engineers are no longer engineers, but rather managers over teams of AI engineers. So basically, instead of being the person to write the code, we'll have agents under us. And those AI bots will take in tasks, write out the code, spit out the results, while we are managing all of them. So basically, instead of being a basketball player, we will become coaches and all of our players will be the AI agents. And so the standard advice of just learn to code and get a software engineering job no longer really applies, but rather learn how to problem solve and use AI. For example, can you design and architect solutions for AI agents to implement? Can you use AI agents to solve the hottest problems? Instead of just prompt engineering, can you use context engineering where you give as much information as possible so that the AI agents can get things correctly on the first try? By the way, if you guys want a full video on context engineering and how to do it and why it's better than vibe coding and prompt engineering, let me know down below. But overall, with AI, you need to be prepared. If you're doing a coding project and you're not using AI, please start using it. Or if you're not doing coding projects at all, start doing coding projects using AI and try to develop very quickly and very efficiently. And by getting this head start, while most of the world is slow to implement AI, you will 100% be way more successful as a software engineer. Well, that's about all I have in this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in my absolutely free tech newsletter, link for that will be down below in the description. And if you're interested in what software engineers do on a day-to-day basis, you might like this video right here.